then skin to skin after C-section. So basically what skin to skin means is that when the baby is delivered, we put the baby on the mother's belly.
Her
so that
own baby that came
there
out
could
of
be
her.
some
Or her.
one
You're charging
bonding
for it.
and second
Bills.
heat exchange.
Hold your baby, and that'll be $40, please.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Next one.
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction.
Yes.
We're super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit the
that
red subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell because
'Cause
we're on the road to 50K.
50K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right?
Right.
Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
$9,000. Hey.
Hey.
Hey there, little person watching YouTube. If you're new here, hi, my name is Ajay. I'm a doctor from India. If you're already subscribed, welcome back. I love you to the stars and back. So healthcare in India, where I'm from, is of two types. It's either given by the government, which is cheap and very affordable, or it's in the private sector, which is not very affordable. But if there's one country in the world that's very notorious for being very unaffordable when it comes to healthcare, like if you don't have insurance, you're basically is the United States of America. So today we'll be playing an interesting game of guessing American medical bills. Now these are real medical bills from real American hospitals.
Ooh,
These were
y'all,
made
get ready.
for us
Get
by
ready.
someone.
Bills.
And I'll be doing that with my good friend Dr. Kiran Morjaria, who's a GP trainee here in the UK, who went to medical school in the UK, who has been working in the NHS for over 3 years now. He also has an amazing channel on YouTube, so make sure you guys check it out after watching this video. So basically the rules of the games are this. So I think there are 4 to 5 bills, real American bills, and both me and Kiran, we're gonna take a look at it and we're gonna try to guess based on what we think it would cost. I think mine is going to be a bit different because I have worked in private sector in India, so it's still a bit expensive. At least by Indian standards, it's expensive. Kiran has only worked in the NHS. Basically, in NHS, most of the things are free. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how much we both guess these prices as. I know it's going to be bad, but how bad are these bills?
Bad.
Let's see. So bill number 1
Michael
is
bad.
cesarean section and the cost to hold the baby. In India,
Skin
in a
to skin.
very good hospital, it would be around 4
think
lakh
you know this
rupees
one,
if
huh?
you want like the best hospital with.
Okay, so I've heard a lot of people say that hospitals charge for skin to skin. I've had skin to skin with all of my babies, and of course my third one was a home birth, so that's kind of different. But I personally have never been charged for skin to skin.
Right,
I look
yeah.
at all of the items on my bills that's itemized, and they have never
Right.
charged me for skin to skin.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
So maybe it's where you are in the United States that charge you for skin to skin. So I don't know, but I think about in the hundreds, like maybe I want to say about 700.
600. I was gonna say 600. I just want to say it quickly because I don't want people to think I was copying you.
You crazy?
Or like VIP suite and all that. I'm thinking it's going to be around $4,000, but I think
Okay.
it's
He's
going to
talking
be
about
more
a
than that.
C-section.
I think, it's a
C-section is
surgery,
like
there's an anaesthetist,
30,000.
there's going to be a
I
surgeon,
think it's it's really
there's the
expensive.
operating
Yeah.
theatre. I think it's going to be expensive. Let's go for $800.
Ooh.
It's $3,000, which is not too bad if you ask me. Like we have Indian hospitals which charge more than this, so I'm not very surprised by this. This
That must
is
have been a
actually pretty
smooth
decent if you ask me.
Schedule.
$3,100
Yes.
to have a C-section.
Yes.
And bear in mind that some C-sections aren't even planned. So this may have been an emergency
Right.
C-section. So imagine going for a normal delivery and then it being converted to a C-section, and and then being whacked with a bill of $3,000.
And I'm gonna just throw this in here. My beautiful wife here, she was rushed in for a C-section, but the procedure didn't go through. She actually had the baby on the cold table. What you call these rooms?
The OR.
The OR. She had the baby in the OR
but
in
I
the
had
middle.
a vaginal.
In the middle of having almost prestige C-section done, but she did have a vaginal birth for our child.
Yeah.
Which was a little creepy and scary because
It was.
we thought she was gonna have to go through it. You was panicking, and
I
it was
crying,
just a lot going
screaming,
on.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but mine wasn't no $3,000 because they still charged me for both
The both.
using the OR as if I was having a C-section
Exactly.
and the vaginal.
Yeah.
And
I just thought that was important to mention because you actually went through. You know what I'm saying?
right, and it wasn't $3,000 to
Right.
that much.
So then skin to skin after C-section. So basically what skin to skin means is that when the baby is delivered, we put the baby on the mother's belly.
Her
so that
own baby that came
there
out
could
of
be
her.
some
her.
one
You're charging
bonding
for it.
and second
Bills.
heat exchange between the mother and to the baby to keep the baby warm basically. So there's a lot of evidence saying that this is a very ideal thing to do, but apparently they charge them for that. I have no idea
Every
why.
single thing.
So I don't know how much they charge. I'm guessing
What I
around
said, $700.
$10, $20 because you shouldn't be charging for
I know
this. but yeah.
$10. They
First
should
of
not
all,
be
I'm
charged.
surprised that they're charging for this, but I'm going to guess it's going to be very cheap. Let's say $40, $50.
$39.35. I don't know why they're even charging for that.
Where
No
they getting
clue.
these
Not
bills
very
from?
No
expensive.
clue.
$40, okay. Well, I think it's pretty astonishing that they've charged for that anyway, but at least $40 is kind of reasonable. Here, hold your baby, and that'll be $40, please.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Next one. Inpatient lactation consultation level 1 because
That's
this is going to be
free.
like
Supposed to be
advanced
free.
nurse practitioner or like a doctor giving the consultation on how to, feed, breastfeed the baby. I think this is going to be around $100.
For a consultation like this, which is probably just some advice, let's assume they've paid $100.
$61. Yeah, this is actually
Oh.
quite affordable by American standards if you ask me. I'm being very honest.
But is it
about
reasonable to do
I
though,
think
like
even
to charge a
Indian
person
hospitals,
for
a
it?
lot
I
of
don't
them
know.
charge this
I mean,
much.
that
So I'm not very surprised.
Let's
I mean,
compare
for a
this
mom
to-
who don't know, do you have
Yeah.
a someone that's in there who is, in a practice field, a professional to do that? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I
but
understand that. She's giving a service. Or he or she is. Well, most of the
it
time
makes sense
she-
though. A lot
She's
of
giving a service, education.
a lot of first time moms don't know how to
Right.
help their baby to latch on, so that makes sense.
Right, and if you are a mom who needs some breastfeeding help, go over to Life with Him. I post a lot about my breastfeeding journey.
Well, check it out.
Costs in the UK. So the C-section would have been free, the skin to skin would have been free, and the lactation consult would have been free as well. Next up, this patient presented with stomach pain to the ED was given morphine, a PPI, a CT scan,
Ooh.
and released 6 hours later. So the
Radiology.
cost for the emergency department visit,
That's in the
let's
thousands.
guess,
Yeah,
a
it's
couple
gonna be high.
$100.
It's gonna be high,
$3,000.
Whoa. $3,000 for just going into the emergency department. Pharmacy fees are $92 and that's okay, affordable.
Yeah.
So ultrasound scan, in India it would be around 1,500 rupees. So that's
200?
what, like $20, $25?
That was
The ultrasound
uh,
scan.
Ultrasound?
Bear in mind that's just a
Ultrasound?
jelly scan. Yeah.
So how much did we pay for our
don't know.
ultrasounds?
But I'll estimate around
for
2.
yeah, the full anatomy scan we paid $250, but that's an ultrasound for a baby. They do ultrasounds for different things.
Yeah.
So
But we talking
I'd
about
say in the
babies here, so
hundreds.
I did
In the
about
hundreds.
200.
Actual cost of that
flat.
is just the cost of the person doing the scan. So let's go for $100. $1,000.
what they was
To
getting
have an
done.
ultrasound scan cost $1,000. That's insane. We give them out like sweets here.
So let's see how much it is. It's gonna be expensive. $1,000 for an ultrasound. Are they crazy? Like $1,000, like that's 70,000 rupees. Like you could literally get like some 30, 40 ultrasounds in India for that cost. This is very expensive.
Yes, sir.
Maybe this is because it involves a radiologist, but even then they shouldn't be charging so much. $1,000 for a ultrasound is crazy.
For the CT scan, the CT scan surely
The
has to be
CAT
more
Yeah, I know.
expensive than the
Ours was
ultrasound scan.
$5,000.
Anything
Which was
that has to do with like those,
So I'm gonna say
the monitors, they're gonna
$1,000.
charge. Anything that has to do with
that
monitors,
was like
they're gonna charge.
$5,000 a piece for us.
Hey,
remember?
listen, I don't remember.
The car accident, it was like $5,000.
Oh, yeah. It is expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna sell it. It might be
I just
higher.
had to read it twice. $6,800.
What'd I tell you?
That's good. That's
For a
not
CT
good.
scan.
That's
It's a good estimate.
Yeah.
It was a good estimate.
$6,000 for a CAT scan. I think in India it would cost like a maximum of $200, even at a very good facility
Wow.
with very good CT machines. And I think in the UK, here in the UK, it's free because it's done only if you need to do it and the trust pays for it. Basically, the government, the NHS pays for it. So here is $6,800, right?
I just can't get my head around the fact that this CT scan was $6,800. I ordered like 5 of them today for free.
Radiology is $445, maybe a doctor consult, but $445 for a consult is quite a lot. But I think radiology also includes an X-ray, chest X-ray, abdominal X-rays and other X-rays because this guy was in a trauma. So if that was the case, $445 is still not justified, but it's okay. But if it's just the doctor's opinion, $445 is crazy money.
The total for this visit to A&E was $12,500. Imagine having stomach pain, going to ED, having these scans, getting some morphine, getting a PPI, and being discharged with them saying actually it's just gastritis, which doesn't need anything further doing,
Right.
and then getting a bill for $12,500.
If you don't have insurance and you have a bill like this, that's going to take away like a quarter of your year's salary for just this one day, like some 6-hour visit to the emergency department. And that's crazy. Bill number 3, this patient fell while rock climbing and broke his neck, back and ankle, had 2 operations and a week in a hospital. This guy, I hope he has insurance. So this is from
Physical
2016, so fairly
therapy?
recent.
Yeah,
Laboratory
physical therapy
services,
by itself is high.
80,000.
I was gonna say
Quite a lot.
15,000,
Let's see.
but I was gonna say
Diagnostic,
that for
therapeutic
physical
imaging.
therapy.
This guy has had a lot of fractures, so I think there'll be a lot of
therapeutic.
X-rays and a lot of CT scans
Imaging.
or CAT scans, like the Americans call it, involved, and a lot of ultrasounds involved. So if the labs took 18,000, I'm just taking a wild guess that imaging would have taken like some $25,000 at least. But let's see.
The imaging, so I don't know how much imaging this patient had. We know a CT scan is costing $6,000, so I'm going to go $10,000. It's actually funny how expensive this is.
95,000. So just for imaging, they've charged him $95,000. That's like more than a resident's salary in the US. Oh my god! But just 1 week.
$95,000 for imaging. Did they give this man the MRI machine? I would be disappointed if I went to
That's
hospital, paid $95,000.
Yeah, like you
and
could
didn't
turn
get the
around. You
MRI
know, I just be
machine to come
paying.
home with.
This is crazy. Next, pharmacy. Basically, all the drugs, all the medicines that they would have used. I'm guessing because he was in the hospital, he would have had multiple surgeries. So I'm guessing around $10,000.
I don't think it's that high.
US,
Nah.
so it's $33,000.
Dang,
he was
it's
messed
just
up,
a
huh?
Yeah, he was.
$33,000 worth of medication for his 1 week's worth of inpatient
Oh
stay.
Lord.
So
Jeez.
ICU, he was charged 30,000, which
ICU
is
was high.
okay
Yo,
because
but-
ICU there's so much
yo,
happening.
this
You
boy,
need to
they
pay
was
so
in
many
his
nurses,
pocket.
so many doctors, and there's so many equipments, everything. You
Just
have
help the man.
to pay for it. So 30,000, even though it's more by American standards, I think that's okay. But then EKG services, so
I've had
electrocardiogram, ECG.
2,000?
I don't know why they call it EKG, electrocardiogram with a K. But basically, EKG services is basically taking ECGs, and because he was in the ICU, I think a lot of ECGs would have been done. In India, it'd be like some 300 rupees for an ECG, so it's what, like $5 or whatever. But in US healthcare, everything is expensive. So let's see how much they billed him for EKG. $9,000.
Yeah, babe.
Like, how
much
many
you said?
ECGs did
I
they
said
take?
2,000.
How can
I've
someone
had an EKG
take ECGs for $9,000?
multiple times.
And like literally he was probably on like ECG like throughout his whole stay or something.
Yeah, that's
like,
what
it
it
just
seemed
doesn't
like.
make sense to me. This is weird.
EKGs in the UK we call ECGs, and actually the cost of these shouldn't be much because you just stick some stickers on and then do an ECG. So I'm going to guess that this was $1,000. $1,000 would be a lot for this. It's just a cheeky $9,000. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then the emergency room, because he came into
Oh,
the
that
emergency
room.
room.
That's
charge
$100,000 just to
him
sit in
for
the
the
room.
emergency room.
Just to breathe in the room.
Walk in
So I
the
think
room.
30
based on the
minutes in the
previous
room.
bill, I would guess around $3,000, $5,000.
Yes, sir.
Emergency
You
room.
might be right.
30,000, dude. What are they gonna do?
He said 30,000.
$30,000.
Oh, hey, you got. I kid you not. I was just thinking about that number.
Yearly salary.
I was just thinking about that number. 30,000.
30,000?
Yes, to be in a room.
Honestly, I've never paid that much to go to the emergency room.
No, I never paid that much either. But I was thinking that much. Like, for some reason, I was thinking about 30 of it.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do with $30,000? Again, this is daylight robbery, if you ask me. There's no other way to describe this.
The emergency room was just another $30,000. Imagine going to A&E and paying $30,000. I really hope this patient had insurance.
Bruh.
The surgery costs. If the scans are that much, the surgery has to be way more. So I'm going to go $50,000.
50
Again,
and
this
up.
guy was in surgery,
Definitely
two
going 50 and
surgeries.
up. Yeah.
So that would have been a lot of money. And following the theme, I'm gonna guess $100,000 for the surgery.
Like, let me
$1,000. Not too bad comparing it to, like how much like imaging.
The doctors are getting paid.
It's weird, right? Like
almost.
imaging is $95,000,
It's like
and
the equipment is
surgery,
just
which
about as
involves
much
so
as
many
the
doctors,
doctors pay.
specially trained doctors, so many nurses, anesthetists, everything is $47,000. So I think they're ripping people off in the imaging and diagnostic services, and they're cutting costs.
The
in surgery.
insurance.
So all in for
Rubber
that
insurance
operation was $50,000 for the surgery and also $16,000 for the anaesthetist, $4,000 for the recovery. So that operation itself cost $70,000.
So the total charges for this guy who broke his neck while rock climbing,
Oh,
I should have been
his
more
neck.
careful, but
Yeah, that was a
it
lot.
is $367,435.80, and that's much more than
Imagine being on the
most
bed and
senior
somebody
doctors'
come with a bill and say,
net
here you
worth.
go.
Even
Right.
a lot of mid-range doctors' net worth in India and even in the UK. Doctors make a lot more in the US, but even then, this is a ridiculous sum of money for one accident. 367,000 is like someone can literally retire with that kind of money, right?
Can you imagine going to hospital,
Nope.
staying for a week, and being hit with a bill of $367,000?
Just say that, bro.
That's going to take decades
That's crazy.
to pay off if you don't have insurance.
That's
in the
crazy.
UK, that would have been free at the point of contact. And finally,
Man, ship me somewhere.
we've got-
Because,
we've got another bill which has been blacked out but cost $2.5 million for a hospital stay.
It gotta be like a
Thank-
cancer bill or something.
We live in the UK.
So there's this another one bill.
Or something.
Just says patient responsibility. What patient owes to the hospital is $2,422,772.45. $2.5 million as a hospital bill. I think this would have given the patient another heart attack, and he would have passed away after seeing the bill. I hope he hasn't, but I think he has. And this was made by one of Kiran's friends, and it says, "Thank I live in the UK. Yes, thank I'm not in the US."
boom.
Yeah,
And
check out
again,
their channel.
definitely, man. That was cool.
Yeah, very interesting. I can honestly say the only time I've paid like a big amount, like in the thousands out of pocket, has been for our birth center, like experience with our baby.
Yeah.
Prenatal care. And that's because we didn't want to go into the hospital to have those type of bills, to have that hospital experience.
Yeah.
And the most we paid out of pocket was 2,000?
I really don't.
2,200, something like that.
I really don't remember.
Yes, Mama, talk about you.
I really
like
don't remember.
$2,200. So that's the most we've ever paid. I've had a lot of things. A lot of yes, I'm talking about you. She's smiling, y'all.
She's smiling.
I've had a lot of like medical things that I've had to do in my life, like toe walking. I had to have surgery for that.
Yeah.
But my parents had insurance and they had Medicaid for me, so that was covered. They didn't pay anything out of pocket.
Yeah. Well, if I add, man, I had again, we was like coming up. You're not taught that over here in the U.S. A lot of people may not be, but some people may. But we're not taught the billing amount that we'll get hit with when it comes to pharmacy, injuries, just going to the doctor in general. I've been on a stretcher once in my life, and I've never got back on it because of the understanding of what's the billing and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, anytime car accident, injury, anything like that happen, they'd be like, do you guys want an ambulance to come? We'd be like,
No.
I
would drive
no.
myself.
He's like, you're sure? He's like,
Hold my head and drive myself.
I'm straight. I'm drive. I drive myself.
Just
So,
smiling at us laughing.
but yeah, you guys. So yeah, we don't really pay too much attention to try and get involved with the billing and everything. We just stay away from things like that.
Yeah. Make sure we have good insurance. Okay. Okay. It's your time now. It's your time.
He's pointing to our foot. Right?
It's time to go.
Go ahead.
All right,
Go
guys.
ahead.
We hope you all enjoyed this video. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you would like to support the channel that way. And our mailing address is in the description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.